Hey everybody. So once again, it's probably been a really long time since I've made a video. I think the last video I made was back in September, for my 2-year post-op surgery. There wasn't anything to update. I haven't been on testosterone since about July. So nothing good was happening. I was, degressing in my transition. My voice started getting high again, and like my mood was getting up there, and none of the pretty things that you want out of transitioning was happening because I had gone X amount of time without being on hormones. Um, However, I'm back on hormones. This week was actually my fourth shot again, which I actually did intramuscular, which is a huge, huge deal. So for those of you who don't know, we're going to recap my transition. For those of you who have heard this 100 times, I apologize. Bear with me, or if not, skip the video. Doesn't really matter. So when I had first started transitioning, they checked how much testosterone my body already had in it. They range that, or they measure that in nanograms per deciliter. Now, the range is anywhere from like 2 to 43 or something like that. It's like a crazy big range. However, I was at 37 nanograms per deciliter when I had first started, before I started transitioning, which is why, I've always been more androgynous looking. Um, so they started me on 25 milligrams. Testosterone is a drug. You can't just automatically start taking a big dose of it. So I was on 25 milligrams for a month, and I didn't have any negative side effects. So after a month, they bumped me up to 50 milligrams. I had the same thing. I didn't have any negative side effects, so they put me up to 75 after a month of that, and then the same thing, I went to 100. So 4 months into my transition, I was on 100 milligrams of testosterone, and this still is an every week shot. So when I had been on 100 milligrams for 3 months, they checked my testosterone levels. It takes roughly about 3 months for the changes to show up in your blood. Um, so they checked my testosterone levels. I was at like 1,470, like some incredibly high number, almost twice what it's supposed to be. You're supposed to max out at like 750, I think it is, for trans men. And that's, for bigger trans men. I'm not a big guy in any way, shape, or form. I'm small. I'm short. I'm not stocky. I'm not broad. Like, I'm a relatively small man. So for me to be up in the 1400s was just like disgustingly high. So my doctor was really worried about it converting back into estrogen. That's what, your uterus does. If a uterus based body has, excuse me, too much testosterone in the system, the uterus will convert it back into estrogen and it'll PMS it out. So the doctor jumped me down to 80 milligrams. I was on 80 milligrams for another 3 months. She checked my blood levels again, and I was still crazy high. I was still like up in the 1300s. So then she dropped me down to 60. Um, and changes started happening. I ended up getting my menstrual cycle back, which had gone away when I was on 100 milligrams. And then everything else just kind of like came to a halt, it felt. Um, so then she was like, something we're going to check your estradiol levels, how much estrogen you have in your body. And again, that's another thing you're supposed to max out in like the 40s, I believe. I was up in the 70s. Too high. Not at all what you want. So then, for those of you who don't know, I used to do my shot in my thigh and my muscle. And I had messed it up a couple of times. I had hit some capillaries, I bled. I had the muscle twitch twice with the needle still inside of it. And then it got to a point where like I couldn't do my shot altogether, and I came off testosterone for 9 months because I couldn't do it anymore. Like I couldn't get the needle in my leg. So then I moved out to Western Mass, and I ended up getting a different doctor because I had to, and we checked my estrogen or my testosterone levels because I had been off of hormones for 9 months, and I was all the way down at 22, which is like a hell of a lot lower than that's literally lower than I've ever been in my whole entire life, or probably not when I was a child, but you get what I mean. So we started doing my shot subcutaneously, which is in the stomach, almost like an insulin shot, like a diabetic would do it. Itty bitty baby needle, it doesn't hurt at all. It was smooth, it was simple. I did my shot sub Q for about 2 months, lost my hormone, or lost my insurance again, so I lost my testosterone again, and this has been like this crazy loop that I've been in where, I come off of hormones and I get back on hormones, and then I lose my insurance, and then I come off of hormones again, and it's a lot on your body. It is. It's definitely a lot. Like, it makes me feel sick. My voice, I'm so sick of it getting high. It's finally dropping again. I'm much happier with it now. But like, it's no joke, man. Like, coming off of hormones is not fun. Getting back on hormones is not fun. And I've put myself on this crazy roller coaster of coming on and getting off again for, almost 4 years. Um, because I was having a hard time with my shot and because I kept losing my insurance. Now I pay for my insurance myself. I'm not gonna lose it. And I can do my shot in my thigh again. So I think everything's gonna be good. I'm gonna stay on hormones for a while, obviously, and let my testosterone levels just keep getting up there, and hopefully my beard will start growing back in. I shaved it a couple weeks ago, and I hate myself for it, but I wanted a fresh start with my hormones. So yeah, that's kind of the track that we're on right now. Deeper voice, hormones back in the body. It all makes a very happy Dalton. I apologize that it took so long, guys. Thanks for checking in, and yeah, I'll let you know when I know what my new levels are. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Take care.